Mona, thank you very much for your time, and I hope your first presentation will give us some background for our student about the studies in Germany. So I also encourage the participant to ask as many questions as much if they have any questions. So that I hope this meeting will continue in future as well. Yeah. So it's over to
yeah,
you.
Sure. I'll be glad to.
It's over to you, Muna. And after your presentation,
Okay.
we'll do the Q&A session. So if anybody can ask the questions. Yeah, sure. So
sure, and I would also encourage people. All right, thank you, Dr. Naveed. So if anybody has a question that they don't want to forget, they can just type it in the chat, or towards the end, we will allow people to ask Q&A, as Dr. Naveed said. So I'm Mona Al-Ghussein from the University of Europe for Applied Sciences, and I'm the official representative for Pakistan, Middle East, Turkey, and Africa. So if you need any help, I would encourage you to contact Dr. Naveed, who is an official partner from Australian education consultants, as I'm working directly with Dr. Naveed on assisting students. So let's get started with the presentation that I put together. So I would like to start off by talking about why students choose Germany as a study destination. And I think the #1 reason is because students are looking to improve their quality of life. So they are looking for a place where they can get a worldwide education, a worldwide recognized education, where the standard of living is comfortable, and it would allow them to stay there long term. So University of Europe for Applied Sciences has 4 campuses, all located in Germany, and students can stay there for 18 months after graduation in order to find a job. And if you have a look at our statistics, we've seen that around 93% of the students who graduate from UE are finding a job within 6 months. And part of the reason why they are getting jobs within such a very reasonable time is because they are working proactively with our career center. So we have a career center that would help students and find jobs while they're studying at the university as part-time jobs. And then once they graduate, they would also help them and find jobs, whether it's international or within Germany. And one of the essence of studying in Germany is that students do have the choice to stay 18 months after graduation to look for a job. And last but not least, students who successfully find a job in Germany can apply for long-term residency, meaning that they can stay full-term in Germany. And the time it takes them is between 5 years to 7 years, and this depends on their level of German language proficiency. So talking more about our locations, we have 4 campuses. So we have a Berlin campus, we have a new innovation hub in Potsdam. Both of them are in the same state, which is Brandenburg. And we have a campus in Hamburg and Iserdon. So these are the 4 campuses, and UE is part of the Global University Systems, which is a big institution that has a number of universities, not only in Germany, but in the UK and other places in the world under their umbrella. Now here I talk a little bit more about the locations, because it's very important. Like locations, not only for real estate, but also for education. So our locations are ideal for students to create a network in terms of finding a future employer or even future business partners. Also, it's a place that makes it easy for them to find internships and project opportunities, job placements after graduation, and also for students who are maybe focused on starting their own thing, their own company. Berlin and Potsdam are ideal locations for starting businesses. For rankings, University of Applied Sciences Europe is a German accredited university, and we also have program accreditations, meaning that if you apply to University of Europe and you decide later on to, let's say, do a PhD, if you decide to go for an academic route and you want to go to another university, our programs are recognized, so that institution would accept and recognize your courses from UE, which makes it which makes a big difference in your life compared to a university that is not accredited. Anyways, going further into accreditation, we rank number top 10 for the quality of teaching business, and we rank number 25 in the world for international orientation. Last but not least is that our business school is an AACSB accredited program, or accredited business school. Now, let's talk about the types of programs or the range of programs that UE offers. So we do offer the Student Colleague. Student Colleague is the German word for foundation program. We're most accustomed with the term foundation program. So UE is offering two types of foundation, which is the W course or the W course, and the T course, which is the technology course. Now, the W course is offered in English and in German. So the students who's applying get to choose a medium of instruction. They can study in English while studying the foundation program at UE. Now, a lot of students who aim on joining public universities in Germany do want to go into engineering, let's say, or want to do something that is maybe not available at UE, and their ultimate goal is to go to a public university. Then these students would consider doing the T course, but the T course is only offered in German, and the logic behind this is because most of these universities are teaching in German. So it just makes total logic that they would study their foundation year in German in order to, let's say, smoothly join public universities that's teaching in German. Another layer of let's say focus at UE is that we are focusing on preparing students for the FSP. The FSP is a generic admissions test in Germany. So the students study foundation year in order to do this exam, and this exam would qualify them for admissions into universities in Germany, regardless whether they're public or private. And since we are an accredited university, we do have the license to offer it on campus. So everything is done in-house. Now, moving to our bachelor's and master's programs. So we do offer programs, as I said, taught in English. And actually, the majority of the programs that we offer for bachelor's and master's degrees are taught in English. And this is one of the let's say, the biggest highlights of UE in terms of attracting students. So for the bachelor degrees, they're fall into three categories, which are business, arts and design, and sports and media. I want to, again, I'm trying to highlight the most important information. And the thing that I want to bring to your attention is that UE is offering a software engineering program. And the software engineering program is pretty much focused on artificial intelligence, and especially the technical side of artificial intelligence. For those of you who are interested more on the business side of artificial intelligence, then I would highly suggest they would consider the digital business and data science that is also offered at a master's level under the name data science. Those of you who are maybe into design or smart design, then maybe you can consider something like user experience and user interface design, which is a program that focuses on how people interact with technology. And when we're talking about technology, it's mostly about how a website would be designed in order to get the most out of it. Now, enough about technology. Let's talk about maybe more business-related majors. We do offer a one-year MBA program in all our campuses. We also have a project management program. So project management at UE is called Smart City Management. So if you're coming from an architecture or from an engineering background and you're interested in going to a more managerial role, then Smart City Management is a very good option for you. Another new program that I would just want to very quickly highlight is creative computing. And this is a program that is about, it's mostly an animation. It's like it's about animation, just to put it very briefly. Okay, so as I said before, Australian Education Consultants is our official partner, but just to very quickly mention to you what our admission requirements, so you can maybe start putting your application documents together before going to Dr. Naveed. So we have an application form that Australian Education Consultants can give you, but we would ask you for a motivation letter, your high school transcript and certificate if you have it available at this point, CV, just to show the timeline of your education, if you've done any voluntary work, any internships, anything that you would like to tell us about your experience and education. We ask you for a passport copy in order to verify the information on your application. Proof of English proficiency. I'm going to elaborate on this a little bit later. And if you are applying for a master's degree, the only additional requirement that we would ask on top of those from the bachelor degrees would be your bachelor degree certificate and graduation certificate. So you have to finish, or you should be finishing at least your bachelor degree in order to qualify for admissions at the master's level. Now, as I said before, we would ask you to present some sort of language proficiency or English proficiency to show that your English is good enough in order to succeed in our programs. Now, we ideally do ask for the IELTS, but let's say you are planning on doing the IELTS and you want to get accepted faster. I would accept something like the medium of instruction letter plus the EFSET online test. We accept the TOEFL, we do accept Duolingo, but please, this is a piece of advice that I would like, if you don't remember anything from this presentation or webinar, remember this bit, that if you are planning on studying abroad, especially to Germany, do take the IELTS, because at the embassy, when you're working at their visa, the IELTS is always something preferred to have. There's nowhere that says that you have to have the IELTS, but we've seen students have a higher success rate if they have the IELTS. Now, going back to special requirements for your application, people who are applying for business-related degrees have to do an online test, and those who are doing something related to arts and design, we ask them for a portfolio. And once you are working on your application, we would guide you with these. Now, scholarships. This is something everybody wants to know about. This is always the highlight of anything we talk about. So we are offering scholarships, especially for the students who are applying through recognized agents such as Australian Education Consultants. So if you are applying for a foundation year, you can get to up to 15% discount on your tuition. If you are applying for undergraduate majors, it ranges between 15 and 20% depending on your major. Last but not least is for postgraduate, so master degrees students, and it ranges from 10% to 25%. So that 25% is for our one-year MBA programs. Now, another layer of support we are trying to give to students, especially those students who are maybe hesitant about making any financial commitment before getting their visa. Now, we have a reduction on the reservation fee. So once you get accepted into the university, you would get a conditional offer. Sorry, you would get an acceptance and you get a study contract. Okay. And once you want to confirm your seat, in order to start working on your visa, you have to pay something called a reservation fee. Now, usually the reservation fee is 3,000 euros, and it is paid usually online or bank transfer. Now, if you apply through Australian Education Consultants during April, we can give you a reduction on your reservation fee. So for undergraduate students, it's only 1,500, which is a 50% reduction. And for master degree students, it's 2,000. So that's almost a 30% reduction. So that's pretty much it. I try to be as comprehensive and concise as I can. And this is the contact information for Australian Education Consultants. This is information for Dr. Naveed. And please, if you do have any questions, do feel free to ask now.
Mona, thank you very much for your nice presentation. I hope the student might have got the maximum informations, and hopefully we will continue these sessions in the coming month as well. So, Mona, let me ask one question from my side. Actually, most
Sure.
of the students they have the intermediates in Pakistan, and there are four types of intermediates. One is called FSC pre-engineering.
Right.
The student they get certificates in chemistry, physics, and maths. And the other is FSC pre-medicals. So in pre-medical, the student
Right.
teach in chemistry, physics, and bio. So is bio students
Right.
accepted in UE as well for foundation course? If somebody want to ask, come.
Oh, okay. Now, if they want to go into business, they have to come from a commerce background, so they have to do an intermediate in commerce. If they want to do T course, which is a technology course, they can come from pre-engineering. But we do not accept students who are coming from pre-med because we're not offering a pre or the M course, which is the medical course. We're not offering that. So this is the summary. So for business, they have to come from commerce. For engineering or pre-engineering, they can go into T course.
And what if the student they qualify for additional maths with bio?
Okay, I don't quite understand your question because we're not looking at the subject by subject. We're looking at like the overall. So intermediate, depending on the course, that's how we accept them. Because we did have students who came from pre-medicine and trying to apply for business, and we could not accept them.
And what about the post-work studies?
Okay, post-work studies. Okay, so students who are on a student visa can work 20 hours per week, which is half time in Germany while they're studying. After graduation, they can look for a job and work full-time for 18 months. So within those 18 months, they have to have an employer that would sponsor them. Did I answer your question?
This 18 months is only for the foundation course or for the graduation and master course as well?
No, it's no. These 18 months are for students graduating from bachelor's and master's. For foundation year, and anybody who's on a student visa, whether it's foundation, master's, or bachelor's, they can work half-time.
Okay, but it means that the student can stay there in Germany for 18 months with the foundation visa?
The answer depends on whether they find an employer or not. So they can stay 18 months, but it's not only staying those 18 months, it's being productive and like extending it. But since they are in student visa, they can stay 18 months, but I'm not 100% sure on how the technicalities work.
And if he get jobs within 18 months, then his visa can be extended?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. And what about the IELTS? It is a general IELTS or is it academic?
Academic.
Academic.
And I didn't mention the IELTS requirements. It's 5.5 for the bachelor's and master's, and it's 5 for foundation year.
And what about the students want to carry their spouse?
Yes, that's they can have their spouses join them, but what we suggest or what we recommend is that for the student to travel first, settle down, register for their courses, and then get their spouses to join them. And by the way, they can get help also from student services or from personnel on campus.
Okay, good. And what about the permanent residence prospects in Germany?
Sorry, would you repeat your question?
For the permanent resident, the student get PRs easily compared to Australia or UK or some other country?
It is, because it's if you look at the economy in Germany, it's doing well. Even now during the pandemic, where other places in the world are suffering, we're seeing that Germany is still doing well, which means that there's still job opportunities available for students. So it's keeping that in mind. It means that it's, I don't want to say easy, but students can find a job, and if they find a job, that's when they can carry on into the residency long term.
Okay, let me encourage our participants to ask questions if they have any.
Anybody would like to ask me any questions?
Can you listen to me, please?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, I want to have a question. Please tell me what postgraduate options are available, or some PhD options are available in University of Europe?
No, unfortunately, we don't offer any PhD programs. These are our master programs. So if you look at the three pillars on the right, so we have things under business, arts and design, and sports and media.
Okay, fine. And when the intake will start, we should start our application process now?
Yes, we highly do suggest starting your application for two reasons. Number one is that the more time you have to work on your visa, the better, because the visa process, especially now during the pandemic, is a bit slower than, I don't want to say a bit, but it's slower than usual. Number two is that I don't know if you remember this, the offer that we're offering. If you apply during April, you can also get a reduction on your confirmation deposit.
Yeah, fine. It's a very good opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Why waste time and why miss out on the offer?
Yeah, yes, of course. Okay, thank you very much, and have a good day.
You too.
From our participants, is flight to Germany for Pakistan is open?
You have to check that from your side. Because I'm not based in Pakistan, I don't exactly know. And literally every single day we hear something new. So check with the airlines in your country.
Okay, Mona, do you have any course or any options available for the people who want to come to Germany for linguistic courses, especially English?
No, we don't offer language courses, standalone language courses. The only course that we offer is for students who want to achieve or want to get to a B1 in order to qualify for the T course in foundation. So it's a 3-month B2 German language course. This is the only course for language that we offer.
So how many intakes in UE at the moment?
We have 2 intakes. So we have the winter intake, which starts in September. So this is the one that we're taking applications for right now. And the one following is the summer intake, which starts in March.
So I don't know whether it is relevant to you or not. Actually, in Pakistan, the people are facing difficulties in getting visa appointments. You know, the ministries the embassies are delaying this for almost 8 months or one year, something like that. I don't know whether they have improved their system or not.
Well, nobody has any influence on the embassy, unfortunately. But what I know in Pakistan is that in Karachi, they have a new drop-off system, which is a drop-off, like they have an appointment or where they can drop off their documents. This had made life easier for a lot of students, but in other places like Islamabad and Lahore, they don't have that, which when we've seen a bigger delay in these 2 areas. Now, again, like going back to my advice, is that they have to apply early. Now, for those students who, let's say, they manage to get accepted and they get an appointment, and it's just a matter of just getting the visa. So they're, let's say they're in the green zone. So what these students can do is that they can study online. And once they get their visas, they can arrive to Germany and study and like arrive to Germany, which is the most important thing. So this is what they can do. And it is actually advisable that students start to study online because we can provide them with an enrollment letter. And the enrollment letter can prove that these are genuine students. So once they go to the embassy and they have an enrollment letter, it's the strongest visa support letter they can ever take because it shows that they're already committed on an academic level to study in Germany. But students, now some students find it difficult maybe to study online. It's not 100% what they're looking for. Such students can defer their intake. But again, if you want your visa process to be in the best situation or in the best support, then start studying online until you're able to travel.
And Mona, what is your refund policy? For example, unfortunately, students get rejected from the embassy, and what is the refund policy for the student?
Okay. In case the student gets a visa rejection, I would need a visa rejection letter, and there's a form that they fill out. And the full reservation fee that they paid would be refunded, except for like a administrative fee of around 150 euros. That's all.
So only deduction would be 150.
Mm-hmm.
Good.